This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the Akim that's out here teaching and preaching in truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Bon Thalamai from the GMS Memphis camp, back with another quick lesson. And I hope that this lesson is edifying to the elect. The title of this lesson is "Be Not Covetous," and I'm gonna start this lesson off with the definition of the word of covetousness in the Google definitions. So this is covetousness in the AI overview, and it says covetousness is an intense, excessive, and often wrongful desire for things that belong to someone else. Like once it says often wrongful, not always, because covetous, to covet means to desire, to earnestly desire. So, but in this, for this lesson, we're speaking about being covetous, of for us to not be covetous, because like it says in this definition, I'm gonna read it again. It says covetousness is an intense, excessive, and often wrongful desire for things that belong to someone else, like wealth, possessions, status, or even another person's spouse, leading to discontent, envy, greed, and actions like theft or dishonesty. Ultimately, like the scriptures say, you can't serve two masters, and if you gonna either serve one and you gonna hate the other. So matter of fact, let me get this scripture. That's in Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. It says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon. You see, so you can't serve, you can't be out here chasing the bag. You focus just like though I guess it was an affiliate camp, and one of the brothers in the affiliate camp was saying, hey, I need to take some time off so I can go get a job, but that's right there. You got to make a choice. You're going to either serve one, you're going to either trust in the Lord to provide, or you're going to barbecue, or you're going to mildew in this sense. You're going to get with the Lord, or you're going to choose your career path, But of course, we know that those titles and those things are temporary. At the end, they're going to all be dissolved. So ultimately, let me read that again. It says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yahweh, the Most High, and Mammon. You can't serve the Lord and still be chasing the bag, man. You got to trust in the Lord for the one of all things. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12. It says, for wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. Right. We need money. Of course, we need money to pay bills. We need money for our daily bread. We need money to take care of our families, keep a roof over their head. But it's a defense. It's not let me hoard all the wealth. That's Esau. That's his mentality, to just hoard all the resources and hoard all the wealth for himself instead of sharing it, because it's enough for everybody. But that's not Esau. And that's not these wicked Israelites. They want to be like Esau. They want to have a lot of money too. They want the fatness of the earth, but that's not your lot. The Lord didn't put us here to be the rich and the wealthy, because matter of fact, let me read that because it's curses that come with that money. That's blood money, man. You know, let me go back to First Timothy. First Timothy chapter 6. And I'm gonna jump up a scripture. It's in verse matter of fact, let me read verse 8. It says, in having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts. I mean, look at Diddy. You know, look at the end result. Look at R. Kelly, man. You know, look at the lifestyle and the wickedness and the evil that come with wealth in this society, man. You can't escape it. You know, you got to do rituals. You got to, put men in dresses. They want to do all that stuff just for you to get the bag, man. You know what I'm saying? They want you to do some weirdo shit just for you to get that bag. Is it worth it, man? Some of y'all, I guess it is worth it, Let me read that again. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare. That's a trap for you, man. Wealth is a trap, man. Well, not wealth, but riches in this wicked ass kingdom. It's a trap, especially at this point in time, because we know who that son of perdition is. We know the lies and the tricks and the treaties that he broke in order to attain that wealth. That's blood money, man. That money ain't no good, man. That money gonna burn up just like this kingdom gonna burn up. Let me read. Let me jump to Matthew chapter 6 again. This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. It says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth. What's the point? You know what I'm saying? Don't lay up treasures in this place, man. You make enough money, like the scriptures say, man. Matter of fact, let me jump there and I'm gonna jump back. What's this scripture? Oh, that's here. I'm Salakia. This is Matthew 6 and verse 19 again. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, in the kingdom of heaven, man, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt. That's like in the scripture where it say, man, you want that incorruptible crown, man, not that corruptible. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and 25. It says, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown. Matter of fact, let me get that in the just to clean it up a little bit. Let me get that in the NLT. It says, don't you realize that in a race, everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize. So run to win. All athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away. But we do it for an eternal prize, man, and which is that incorruptible crown, man. Like the scriptures say, man, righteousness is immortal, man. But wickedness is as of death, man. You're not gonna make it being wicked, man, trying to play the game like Esau, man. How you gonna beat Esau at the game he invented, man? All he gonna do is move the goalpost and put you in jail like he did R. Kelly, trying to be like him and shit. Let me go back to that in Matthew chapter 6. Verse 20. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Once again, righteousness is immortal, man. We don't want who want money. Why you want a whole bunch of money when as soon as the dollar die, man, that money gonna be good to wipe your ass with, man. You know? So once again, let me read that one more time. Matthew chapter 6, verse 20. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. You know, don't be covetous. Be covetous and chasing after the bag, trying to have an obsession over chasing money in this kingdom, because it's gonna canker, it's gonna rust, it's gonna be destroyed. We want that incorruptible crown, man. And I hope that this quick lesson was edifying. Till the next time, shalom.